Okay, so welcome back to the Northern Nerd Network. My name is Dan. To me, that sounded really weird. Did that sound weird to you?
It sounds like Google updated, and now we have an electronic version of the opening theme music that you found for us.
I know.
With a little more like 80s synthesizer thrown in for good measure.
I don't know what's going on right now with that. That's not supposed to sound like that.
I don't know. I liked it. It's still a jam. I can get behind it.
Trina has no idea what we're talking about because she can't hear it. She can't hear it at all. Yes. So, by the way, we have none other than Chelsea Thompson. Chelsea, say hello.
Hey guys.
And then we have on the show today we have Trina.
Yay!
Yay, Trina. Why do we have you?
We couldn't get anybody else.
No, that's not true. We could.
No, because you guys just spent a weekend being awesome at the Calgary Expo, and I'm going to ask you all about it.
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
That it was a lot of fun, and we do have some stories that we'd like to tell.
We were awesome.
We are awesome. I mean, really, truly. Anyways, let's continue on with how everybody's week was. So, Chelsea, how was your week?
My week was really good. It ended off with a trip to Edmonton this past weekend. Sorry I didn't get a chance to visit you guys because you guys were down in Calgary. But it was my nephew's first birthday on Monday of last week. And the party for the family, because let's face it, when the kids won, the party's for the family. The family party was on Saturday, so I flew in for that. Couldn't miss my first small relation smashing cake and whatnot. He managed to survive through the first year, so I suppose we can keep him around. We can keep him around. He's all right. He's got survival skills.
Keep the parents around.
Yeah,
they made it.
They survived.
Well, mostly the first birthday party it should really be a party for the parents. Like, hey, you made that, and you're still alive. Go you.
Yep.
Not
you had
dead
most of your sanity.
You're not dead of sleep deprivation yet.
Way to go. A little crazy.
So,
yeah, you never come out the same on the other side of that. A small child. Anyways,
so, that was fun. It was good.
That's awesome. So you got to hang out with 1-year-old.
The fam.
The fam.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So Trina, how was your week?
It was all right. It was busy.
Yeah.
I spent most of the week prepping for Calgary. And by prepping, I mean baking 247 cookies. And while I was doing that, I threw my back out.
Ouch.
Yeah, so it was a rough week. Should I tell them how my back got healed?
We'll get to that later.
For temporarily.
Yeah, it was fine. But yeah, we'll
get to that.
We'll get to that. Okay. We'll get to the
Calgary stuff. So I'll leave with I had a busy week of prepping and baking cookies with sore back.
Awesome.
Is it feeling better now? We can talk about how it's feeling better, but is it feeling better now?
Yes and no. I have a massage booked for tomorrow, so hopefully.
Hopefully
that'll work. Because
how about you, Dan?
Chiropractor didn't.
Yeah. My week was fine. I didn't do a whole lot. I just mostly got ready for the expo.
I don't even know what we did last week.
Honestly, I have no idea. It was such a blur. What happened is typically when we go down to the expo, I take all my computer stuff. So I haul the giant Mac and I haul all the other stuff. So I made sure that I had all this stuff to be ready and prepped for the expo. And then when we got back, I reset this all up, and here we are.
Because nerdy, dedicated, amazing nerd that you are, you shot footage, edited it, and put out a video all while we were still down at the expo.
Yes, that was...
Ladies and gentlemen, that right there is nerd dedication.
That was all done in one day.
To bring you
it really was
the most amazing video from the Calgary Expo 2016.
It's certainly not the most amazing video from the expo. However, it was a lot of fun. It's on its way. I'm working on another one. So hopefully that one will be better. Well, I mean, really, that one was fine. Go check it out.
This one will be more
It's
epic.
like- no, it's gonna be So here's
Visit
what
the
it is.
YouTube page. Check it out.
Go to our YouTube page. We got a video up right now. So if you're listening to this, you can check it out later when you get a chance. But if you go to the YouTube page, we have a little interviews. I talked to a lot of like kids and got their perspective of the expo, and their perspective is much better than ours. I can tell you that right now. And it was a lot more fun to talk to them. And then during the expo, I did a lot of just general like cosplay. I got to talk to a lot of cosplayers, and they are absolutely amazing. Some of the costumes that were coming out of the expo was just insane. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible. But we'll get all back to that later. But we do have a cosplay video. That's where I'm going with this. We will have a cosplay video.
Video number 2, all the amazing costumes.
Yes. All right. So, anyways, Chelsea.
Yes.
Let
Daniel.
us go into our news items for this week.
All right, we can do that. So our first news item is kind of fun. So in science news, our friendly neighborhood scientists at CERN, who run the Large Hadron Collider, the particle accelerator, trying to suss out the answers to all of life's great mysteries, find order in the chaos. It's rather ironic that a giant furry, a small furry monkey wrench was thrown into their research when a weasel apparently got into the housing of the Large Hadron Collider and did something. I don't know whether he chewed wires or let me see if I can find it in the article. But apparently a weasel shut down the particle accelerator at CERN, which, you know, nature kind of saying, well, you know, you never know what to expect with me. Sure, you can try and quantify me and categorize me and sort me and try and find my answers, and then I'll toss a weasel at you. Haha.
Yeah.
Trina's doing some spelling and correcting my grammar.
Yes, so the weasel apparently got into the housing and chewed through a power cable. However, in this article, there's a link to another story, a past story. Apparently, at one point, the LHC was broken by a piece of bread.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome how these giant machines are taken down by stuff that's so small and
It's a little weasel. Like, what can he do?
a lot.
Really?
Bite you.
He can bite you.
Weasels are scary.
He's so cute.
Unless he's a mink, and then
Look at
you
that.
can make him into a coat.
Look at that face.
It's pretty easily
So
fixed.
repairs are expected to take a few days, and then repowering up the Large Hadron Collider takes a little time. The earliest it could be back online is the middle of May. So, you know, a couple days to repair the wires, a couple weeks to get it up and running to speeds, you know, to smash particles together. You know, I hear you
That's
need
science.
ridiculous speeds to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Barry Allen speed.
Well, and yes, and that's the other thing is we can we can have a whole. What was the particle accelerator from the Flash? Maybe that will cause that to happen. We'll have some metahumans. Or a lot of yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen.
How about not?
Anyways, yeah. So that's pretty intense. Like a little tiny weasel taking down a giant hadron collider. But yeah, that's pretty. I love that thing.
Talking about colliding, there's a new Netflix series, and who's it starring?
Wow.
Who is it starring, Trina?
Wow.
The Punisher.
That's good. Trina will get 5 points on that one.
Woo! 5 points.
Yeah, that was an okay segue.
That
Yes,
was-
so
Hey, I'm new here.
John Berntal, who's on The Walking Dead.
Yep.
He played.
He played the Punisher in Daredevil,
Yes.
and he was amazing at it. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know if did you watch at any of the Daredevil stuff at all?
I haven't watched the second season yet.
The second season
I'm
is
looking forward to that.
absolutely amazing, super intense, super awesome. And yes, he he does a fantastic job. Like John, yeah, incredible. So yes, letting him have his own like series. Sure, let's do it. I'm up for it.
Yeah.
Just let it hang there. Just let that one hang. All right.
So yeah, I mean, it should be pretty interesting because it's Netflix to see how dark and bloody they go with this incarnation of the Punisher now that he's getting his very own series.
Well, Punisher hasn't been handled very well in the past.
No.
Just generally. However, like I said, if you watch Daredevil season 2, he does play a fairly major role in the season, and he is absolutely fantastic.
That's
the
great.
way he's portrayed throughout the season is absolutely fantastic, and I'm super excited to see what he does in his own
Hopefully, because I mean, Netflix does a good job of all the stuff that they produce. You know, they're fairly meticulous in the development process. It's my hope that they're a little more loyal to canon than some of the other incarnations have been, which is kind of why I'm hoping for it to be a little darker and bloodier because it's Netflix and they can.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the thing. Like they had Punisher, they've had not Punisher, they've had Daredevil, and they've had Jessica Jones, the 2 Marvel series that they've been running, and both series have been incredible. Daredevil, I would, even though it's like a darker sort of setting, like Jessica Jones is even further. Like it is super dark.
Yeah, I couldn't finish it.
Yeah, Trina had to like
much.
bail out on Jessica Jones because she couldn't handle.
It was creepy.
She couldn't handle the creepy
Creepy
factor. But yes, they can do pretty much anything, and they can hit those boundaries that most. If you're watching it on TV, you're not going to be able to.
Well, up until now has been sort of the territory of HBO and AMC and other cable channels, which is basically what Netflix is. You know, they have the bankroll to be able to produce stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
And they've been doing such a phenomenal job of doing it too.
Oh yeah,
right?
Fuller House was amazing.
Yeah.
But yes, all the Netflix originals have been almost everyone I've seen has been pretty.
House of
well
Cards,
produced.
Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're certainly on a roll in terms of having an eye for new projects to develop and knowing how to develop them well. So all of that, plus the great performance, bodes very well for his own series.
Well, you know,
and then of course leading up to the Defenders after Luke Cage gets his own business.
Yeah, Luke Cage is awesome as well.
So there's a lot of chance going into this production, and we hope that they have a lot of luck making it. You can say like maybe 1 in 120 chance it'll be an awesome show.
Man, you need to get her to write copy for you for segues.
I'm thinking about it right now. I'm like, this is okay. So if you don't know anything about the show and you're just tuning in for the first time, Trina is the producer of the show, and she does not write my jokes. Okay,
I'm not allowed.
Trina, yes.
We do it. We do it all fly by the seat of our pants. People, that's right.
Yeah, we're
a bit of a shenanigans outfit here. that we do it for you with love. And so one of the running jokes on the show is whenever we have news items to see how seamlessly we can segue between whatever we have on the docket for the evening. And Dan is,
I haven't been doing very well.
bless you, you try so hard, but
That's
it's
how-
not,
that's the
we'll
problem.
say it's not your strong suit.
No, I haven't even been trying at all. Like that's the other thing. I've just been like letting Chelsea do it now because I've just given up. And so yeah, you're just
I try. It's that Bachelor of Arts degree. It's got to be good for something.
Yeah. Put it to good use.
Yes.
Anyways,
So,
you
Trina,
had this whole
Okay,
beautiful
segueing
segue
into
about like
something.
120 chance. Yeah, there was someone who actually made 120 sided dice. 120.
They used math to do it.
They did use math. I mean,
Lots of math. Apparently, it's the most mathematically fair dice possible.
really
That's it right
That's what
there.
it said.
In theory.
in theory.
Yeah.
Yes, because I mean it's 120.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was conceived over 150 years ago, though. The idea.
yeah, that was the amazing part about this. It was like 150 years old.
yeah, so I mean, the
Ooh.
design is basically they've taken a 12-sided die, but peaked each side of the 12-sided die into a 10-sided like cone.
Mm-hmm. And the amazing thing about this whole thing is that it's not like you would think with 120 sided.
It would be huge.
It would be not only that it would be huge, is that it would be more round. But it's not round. It's like it has these peaks on it all over the place.
Yeah, so it's the size of a 12-sided die, but each of the sides have just been sort of peaked into these 10-sided pyramids.
So here's the question: would you be able to use this in practice right now with the games that are currently out, or are they going to have to develop new games in order to use this dice?
You have to come up with a reason to use this dice.
Yeah, but I'm sure games that already exist would probably find excuses to make modifications to roll with 120 sided die.
How
I'm-
much?
I'm willing to just use it in our game.
How
just
much damage are you going to take? 2 or 110?
You never know. It's mathematically fair.
Only the dice will tell.
Yeah. It's completely random. That's the thing about it. But yeah, I mean, just looking at the dice itself, like
They're
if
really
you guys
pretty.
go to Nerd Approved, I think it's under the you can go and check that, or you can check out our Facebook page. That's where you go. You go check out our Facebook page, like us on our Facebook page. While you're there, might as well. I mean, if you're there.
I mean, you're already there.
You're already there. So go
Why
and like us,
not?
and then you can go and click
Like
on the
a-
link that will
one-
take you to see this dice, and it's amazing. So
One finger motion. Just a
Yeah.
little finger motion.
I know it's super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We like to make things easy on you, the viewer or listener. Yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling for no apparent reason tonight. I don't know why. It's probably because Trina's standing beside me.
It's probably because you're sleep deprived.
That's
Because your
actually
weekend
sleep
was
very well.
so busy.
Did you?
I did. I slept pretty well.
I slept all right.
We weren't like go crazy.
No, we
partying.
didn't. No, we didn't go partying at all, like crazy.
So now,
Like
We just
Did-
we had
you
like
leave?
no kids.
no kids. Let's.
I was
sleep.
just gonna say, did you leave the kids with grandma?
Yes, we
Yes.
did.
So
This
it was nerdy lovers getaway.
It was.
Not really. Damn Cindy.
Yeah. We have friends, mutual friends that we stayed with in Calgary.
Yay, Pete and Cindy.
We did. We got to go out for dinner by ourselves one night though. So that was nice.
Date
Mhm.
night.
Yeah, because that never happens.
Yes, we went for fondue.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah, there's an amazing, like, it's like a little house downtown that has like fondue. and it is really good.
Mhm.
I really enjoy the fondue there, mainly because it's a little house and it's just awesome.
It's called the Laurier Lounge, and they have like pictures of Wilfrid Laurier all over.
I did not notice
You
that.
didn't notice
Because
it?
Sir Wilfrid Laurier.
I didn't notice
and
it. I noticed his
fondue
head,
are
but I'm like,
just, you know, I make that link all the time. Sir Wilfrid Laurier and fondue.
that is
That's automatically what I think of.
If you think really hard, people like to Spock the $5 bill, so I really like having fondue with Spock.
You lost me on that one.
All right, moving along.
Anyways,
Is it Laurier on the 5, or I thought it was
Yeah.
Sir John A.
Yeah.
MacDonald on the 5?
oh wow, that's the connection you went.
Yeah, it's Laurier on the 5 for sure.
I don't have the 5 anymore.
Oh,
I spent it. I spent it.
Anyways,
Oh no, or is Sir John? No, Sir John A. MacDonald's on the 10.
He's the 10.
He's on the
Right,
10.
Laurier is on the 5.
Yeah. Wow.
Canadian money.
Canadian money.
If we happen
is-
to have any
this is the
listeners
Nerd
or viewers
Network
in
in
the
its fullest
States or
extent.
elsewhere out there tonight, we're getting really we're pulling out some really nerdy Canadian trivia right now for you, just for you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Anyways, yes.
But that's the news. Now we're going to get into the good stuff, because I sadly was not at the expo and still have yet to go to one, either Edmonton or Calgary.
Or Vancouver.
Or Vancouver. I've never
We'll
been
get you
to any
into
expo
Vancouver.
ever. It's a badge of shame for me, who identifies as a nerd, that I've never actually been to any expo anywhere ever. I've been to the Edmonton Collector Con with you guys, but
Yeah.
That's
not an expo. Yeah. So I want to hear all about it. So no kids, first and foremost, please tell our lovely watchers and listeners all about your most excellent costumes. Dan, why don't you go first?
My costume was just me wearing a suit, and I would carry around a badge. But you can't see my badge until I pulled it out, and then I would tell you that I was a shield agent. That was.
But you got a nice little ID badge made.
I did get a fantastic ID badge made at the Nerdgasm booth. The people from the Nerdgasm made me a nice little badge that goes inside my. I don't have my thing here, but it looks awesome. It has my picture on it, and now I'm official.
I
shield
love,
agent.
though, that in the pictures that you posted, how much you looked like Coulson. It was great.
He had a little too much hair, though.
I do. I've kind of.
Need to get a haircut.
I need to get. Yeah. Last when I went to the Edmonton Expo, it's kind of almost creepy how much I look with the hair, receding hairline and stuff. Yeah.
He was like an early Coulson. A little bit more hair,
Yeah.
still had a hand.
Yes.
Yeah, I still had a hand. I didn't have the glove yet. We'll work on that one. Anyways, so yeah, that was my costume, which is not that great, not that exciting. But Trina, my beautiful wife here, she had an amazing costume.
Now, you were part of a group costume. Is that
Yeah.
correct,
I
Madame? Please tell us all about what your amazing group's brainchild was.
So, I don't know where it originated, but
Come to the dark side. We have cookies. That's
Yeah.
where it
I don't know
originated.
where the original idea came from, but it. So I made a bunch of cookies that looked like imperial symbols, and we had little baskets with a sign that said "Come to the dark side. We have cookies," and we were wearing little aprons and little frilly skirts, and we looked like 50s housewives, kind of in our little
And you
stormtrooper
were?
aprons. We're cookie troopers.
Yes.
Yes. And
So it was
that's
you
why I
and
came to
what other lovely ladies were in this group of yours?
Sam, who you guys have met.
Yes, we have.
And
She's also been on our show.
Yes, she
I
has.
believe she was Yes, I mean people who
Fans you've met.
yeah the fans have met, but I mean some people who haven't watched that far back. When we first started off the Nerdcast, Sam was a part of the founding members of the Nerdcast. The Nerdcast. No, the Nerd Network, Nerdcast. So yeah, if you go back to the Nerdcast, like in the archives, you'll find her back there. Anyways, continue on.
Sam lives back in the archives.
She lives back in the archives.
Yeah,
That's
and
where we'll
a
keep
couple
her.
of our other friends.
We love you, Sam.
So now you said it was quite the ordeal to prepare yourselves to go out on the floor in these costumes. How long did it take you to get ready?
About 4 hours.
So what all was involved? Because I saw the pictures and the end result looked stunning. You all looked like June Cleaver. Like, it's amazing. The like perfectly like victory rolled hair
and
and the makeup and the curls and the
yeah, pretty much we had only one out of the four of us actually knew how to do hair, so she had to do all of our hair and she did most of the makeup too. So
yeah, that'll take the
took
time
forever. And then just
it was all pin curls and victory rolls and stuff.
A bit ridiculous. And yeah, so I put my back out making the cookies, and for the costume we were also wearing corsets. And after I took the corset off at the end of the day, I was like, my back feels better. So yeah, the corset,
which is amazing considering the heels that you guys were wearing. With those
my
costumes.
toes are still sore, and that was on Saturday. Yeah.
So you all had matching patent leather white, like what were they, 3 or 4 inches tall heels?
Yeah, they were.
That I got to see before you went down to the con.
Yeah,
so I'm surprised you guys managed to last the whole day in them.
We didn't. We switched out halfway through, but yeah. Oh, and so we got to see. So we went around handing out our cookies to people, and we showed up at Robert Bailey's booth. Oh, here, there's a picture of us.
Yay!
Yeah.
And okay, so we went over to Robert Bailey's booth and offered him some cookies, and he's the Star Wars artist that's really popular at all these cons, and so he was like smitten with us and like, oh, I need to get a picture with you guys. So his wife took a picture of him with us, and he was being all cheeky, and it was really cute.
Expo shenanigans. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, it was you guys were
so
you guys were partying it up as the. I mean, you guys went to a few different booths, right?
Yeah, we saw a few. We went to the 501st and got pictures with some stormtroopers.
They made the rounds.
We did.
Now, question of the day.
They handed out all 240, by the way.
I was just going to say, how many people did you seduce to the dark side with your cookie?
You know, the funny thing is we specifically went up to a lot of Jedis, and there were people that turned us down. It's like, do you want a cookie? And they're like, sure. Like, you have to come to the dark side. They're like, oh, now I'm conflicted.
There was actual.
I'm wearing a Jedi robe. I can't really do that.
There was actual people. I don't know.
It's good. They were in character.
Yeah, they were in character.
I appreciate it.
I do. Yeah, same here. They wouldn't take the cookies.
So yeah, we did.
That is dedication to your cosplay right there. I salute you.
I would say we enticed about half of the Jedi we ran into.
They seemed, a lot of them were very easily swayed.
Oh yes, and a lot of people were like, I'm on the dark side already. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah,
so that was them all out. There were none left at the end.
There were none left at the end. Yeah, we ended them all out. Yes, I also played the game of how many Rays are going to be here, counting Rays, and it ended up actually there were quite a few Rays and Kylo Rens, but the Harley Quinns this year, they were probably the most popular.
Yeah, I think out of all the different cosplayers out there, a lot of them were Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of them that were all the new one from the movie that's coming up, from the Suicide Squad. We got a few of those.
This was an easier costume to put together.
Maybe it was, but I mean, still at the same time, Harley Quinn she's always been popular, just in general. Same with Deadpool. Deadpool's been a fairly popular character,
Not popular.
but he's not. Well, there was quite a few. I seen a few, but not as many
as
as I
many as
know.
last year.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of surprising because you with the movie and stuff like that, you would expect more people to have more costumes for Deadpool. However, what I noticed was that there was a lot more stuff promoting Deadpool. Like so, there's more
Posters and things.
posters and more
Merch.
art,
Merchandise.
things that people have made with Deadpool stuff on it.
That's true.
So yeah, I've noticed that trend a little bit more. But the trend of actual cosplayers playing Deadpool was way down from normal. But yes, Harley Quinn, way up, way up. There was a lot more of them. However, I did not see a lot of Harley Quinn merchandise on the show floor.
True.
I don't know if you can do a whole lot of Harley Quinn merchandise. I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure it's possible.
We'll see if there's a spike after Suicide Squad comes out.
Oh,
Yeah.
there should be.
I'm just surprised that there hasn't been something leading up to it. That's all. Because I mean, people seem to be really into this new movie that they're coming out with. The banter that was on the trailers and stuff like that. I know they went back and had a lot of rewrites, and they did a whole bunch of fixing up because they're like, oh, we need to fix this, and so they've been scrambling a little bit on the movie. So hopefully it comes out good. So
We have just had a comment from our buddy Aaron. He said episode 7 had an impact even aside from the raising Kylos. He saw a huge increase in the number of rebel pilots at the con as well.
Yeah.
I noticed that. You know what else there were lots of?
well, Aaron himself was a
Was a
rebel
rebel
pilot. He's a rebel pilot.
So he notices.
And it's the
yes.
most excellent costume.
Yes.
We love that costume on the show.
The one of our friends, they make the rebel helmet. And they did it
They sold
fairly
out.
well. They sold out, I believe, on their rebel helmets. And they're not cheap.
Mhm.
So I mean,
Yeah, they did good. So
did-
there's going to be even more rebel pilots. Next
yeah,
year.
I'm looking forward to seeing more rebel pilots
Mhm.
coming out in the next little while.
Do you know what there was also more of this year from episode 7?
From like other than BB-8s.
Mhm.
Trina's
BB-8s. Love the BB-8s. Little adorable children made BB-8 costumes. The first one we saw was probably about 6 or 7, and he had this little BB-8 costume and a little hat with the top. And we
Trina,
used to
by
take
the
a
way, was
picture.
just absolutely smitten with this little
So
boy.
adorable. We used to take a picture with him, and he ducked down and pulled the hat on. So he looked like BB-8. He like posed for us, and then he didn't want to get up afterwards
Well-
because he was shy.
Well, here's what happened. They had offered the little boy a cookie, and he politely said no, but
he shook the little hat.
he shook the little hat. So all you see is this little ball and the BB-8 head moving back and forth, just shaking.
That's
No,
adorable.
it was
That's
absolutely
That's
super cute.
awesome.
But at the same time, he turtled inside the ball.
He got
I
all
had to
shy.
ask his mom. I'm like, is he shy? She's like, yeah, just a little bit. So I mean, he didn't want to come out of his little shell, which was super cute. I mean, I could see pretty much like a lot of kids doing that, but yeah, it was like absolutely adorable.
He was my favorite.
Yeah, that was Trina's favorite. There was another one where we saw the little BB-8 and a Death Star.
Yeah, 2 little twins. They were adorable.
Oh my goodness,
They were maybe like 3.
they were so
tiny.
small. They were small.
And yeah, they had one was a little BB-8, and one was a little Death Star.
And the little Death Star had like a TIE fighter as a beret. Kind of thing on her head.
Cute.
Yeah, it was super
They're
cute.
super cute too. And then the lady with the BB-8 dress.
Yeah,
She's pretty awesome.
I mean, if you watch in our Edmonton Expo cosplay
Video.
she's in there. She's also the Death Star lady.
Giant Death Star.
Yeah, so
It's
she's got the
really
big
awesome.
Death Star dress. She's also been featured in another video. I mean,
We have
she's-
to actually find
she's
out who
like-
she is because she's kind of awesome.
well, I have her on
Confused
like
now.
Twitter or something like that. She's like Death Star dress lady. I don't know. Something like that. I can find that out.
And Death Star dress lady.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. She's got
Her costumes are amazing.
yeah, And on her little BB-8 dress, now she's got the glove with the flame.
The
on
lighter finger.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, just completes the dress. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's pretty good.
Perfect. So I guess following along this vein, I know Dan said he is going to be making that cosplay video. So I want to ask you guys, you've talked a lot about a lot of the similar ones, a lot of trends that you saw this year. But what were some of the coolest costumes you saw? You posted some pictures of some amazing Mad Max cosplayers that I thought were awesome. But what were some of the coolest costumes you saw at the expo?
Okay, so the Mad Max Fury Road one, I still think was my favorite out of all of them. Just because they went full out with the whole costume, like to the T.
Yeah.
I think at one point he's just like, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it like right,
All in.
He's like, go all in. So he had all the medals, he had all the like, everything was like bang on. I believe even when they went to the Weta booth,
Weta was like infatuated with them. Like, wow,
Yeah.
let me take pictures of your makeup and everything. And
Yeah, because they did an incredible job with that costume. But there was, I don't know.
I really like the Kylo Ren and Rey.
Yes, the one there was one couple that was a Kylo Ren and Rey.
They actually look like the characters.
Yes,
like
both of them look like the characters.
it was
like-
kind of creepy.
Yeah,
It was like they just showed up going.
I know, and if you didn't, you weren't quite sure, you would actually almost mistake it. Like,
Yeah.
that's how good they were. They were that spot on.
And
The
their
only
costumes
thing
were
I had
awesome,
an
too.
issue with was his hair was not dark enough. I believe he should have dyed his hair because it was brown. But I think if he would have dyed it a little like black, it would have been like bang on.
Yeah, he was pretty close. His face, like just his face
Even his
shape
hair.
was the same. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And he made himself like a little scar and he had a voice modulator and everything. It was really cool.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
he even sounded like Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really good.
I was trying to think if there's anything else more unique. The BB-8s really were really cool.
And like the Rebel pilot that we saw walking around, he was pretty awesome too.
Yeah, he was pretty awesome. The guy with the two lightsabers.
Yeah.
Any really obscure costumes at this year's expo?
There was a guy that stopped by the booth. He was Deadpool and Freddy, and he called himself Deddy. It's kind of cute.
Okay, so here I got the best one that I saw. There was a guy. It looked like he had maybe killed Big Bird,
Oh, yeah.
and he was wearing him as a hat. And then he had like a Snuffleupagus like shield,
Stick.
and it was like it was a shield, and his like trunk was hanging down. And then he was like he had like this pole with Sesame Street like sign like hanging off the sign like an axe, and it was just like all bloodied, and like he was like a Viking kind of like thing. It was
What did it say?
it was-
It
it was-
said something.
it says Sesame Street.
No, it said something else, and it was funny.
Oh, I don't
It
know.
was like the description of his costume. I can't remember now.
It was absolutely incredible. Super thinking outside the box. Like,
So did he have a cute pun or explanation for
Yeah,
what it was?
Fine.
I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was, but yeah.
It was absolutely incredible. I was like absolutely floored by it. It just because the way it looked. Like he looked like he went to war and he like came back with all these trophies and he was just wearing them. Like, I mean, if you went and you saw Big Bird and you like used him as a trophy, you'd be wearing him as a hat. Yeah, really
Terrible.
I mean, it's awful because it's Sesame Street, but it was so clever and so good. I loved it. I thought it was great. I don't know if Aaron, if you're still watching, what was your favorite costume? We'll leave that one, or whoever's watching. If you're watching,
And you
leave
were
us a
there.
comment. Yeah, and you were there. Leave a comment.
So moving on from amazing costumes to sort of things to see and do at the expo, what were some of the coolest booths that you guys visited or walked past or saw this year, or some of the coolest artwork or merch? I mean, I know you posted a picture, Dan. You came home with some pretty sweet artwork by one of your favorite artists, which is always nice to get at an expo. If you find an artist you really like, to come home with a piece of theirs. But tell me, give me the goods. What was the good stuff that you guys saw at the expo this year?
You know what the thing is, like I've been there with how many years? This has been a few years that we've been going to this thing, and we go we go to these things quite often, and we go to a lot of them. And so I don't know, there was not that many booths that really stood out.
They all kind of look the same
Yeah.
after a while.
We have our certain booths that we like to hang out at, like the Nerdgasm, and Onfin. They're great. Like he's a great artist. I've known him for many years, and he still has some of my favorite art in the show. But I don't know. I don't know if there was any like real booth that we saw that was incredible.
I don't know. That's a tough question.
Did you guys visit or by chance see? So a lovely friend of mine, Tessa Hathaway, occasionally works for a company based out of Calgary called Dark Age Creations that does swords and chainmail and things like that. And they go all over to expos all over and lovingly refer to their booth as Sword Island. Did you guys stop by or take a peek at any of the swords there at all?
I always take a look at their swords because I can't help it. But yeah, they always have the most amazing swords out there. I would love to buy a sword, but I can't justify it yet.
Need a lightsaber first.
I need a lightsaber first. And those things cost a lot of money. I also got the chance to see Genesis custom sabers again, and look longingly at the sabers that are on the table, going, I want one so bad.
And now, what kind of panels were at this year's expo? Did you guys get to check out anything cool, or were you mostly spending a lot of your time wandering the floor, putting together video stuff?
We spent a lot of time working and cosplaying.
Yeah, I really wished I like every year I say the exact same thing. I wish I had gone to more panels.
Yeah.
And every single time I go to the next the next expo, I'm like, I want to go to like all these panels, and I'm like, but I don't want to stand in a line, and I don't want to like waste like an hour and a half just to go see one person, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I had a bunch of them like bookmarked, but a lot of the times
they just didn't work.
Didn't work out for us for when we were there. And then so the one panel we did see was Stan Lee, because you can't not see Stan Lee.
Awesome.
He is incredible for being 93.
Yeah, like,
and still coming out too,
and still like there,
and still performing, right? Like he performs for you, like on the stage. I mean, he's 93. He's got bad hearing. Like you can tell he's losing it, but at the same time, he's like still.
Oh, some of the stories he tells are great.
Oh man, so good. And his whole bit about the camera.
Oh yeah.
Flying around.
Camera on the boom. He wasn't sure what it was, and then he's like the guy moderating explained that it was a camera, and he kept like saying, "Oh, there's that thing again! It's out to get me! It's gonna be a new villain!" and stuff. It was really funny.
Yeah, he kept on pulling that back to the front. But yeah, I mean, Stan Lee.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be the last time. I keep saying that, but it is gonna be the last time that he's gonna be in Calgary, right? So it's good. It was good to see him. Every year that he does come, I've managed to go to his panel, and it's always such a treat to just listen to him talk. and just to hear him and how he refers to a lot of his characters as his children, like
Mm-hmm.
these are his babies, right? He birthed all these different things, and he's more than willing to just let them go. And like how you would have a kid that would grow up and they come in on their own, and they do their own things. It's the same thing with these characters now, right? Like they're being passed off to other people, and they're doing stuff with them. And he's like, I don't care what you do with them, as long as you write good stuff for them, right? Be good to my characters,
Yeah,
right?
continue making good stories for them.
That's just it. And so he's super happy to be just there, right? I mean, it's great to see him. Is amazing. Overall, I'm such a huge fan of Stan Lee and what he's done for the comic book industry, and just for just pop culture in general. We wouldn't have these crazy movies if it wasn't for him in the first place. I mean, so I like I wouldn't be here like talking about this kind of stuff if it wasn't for him. So I mean, generally, I can't miss him. Like that's something that you always have to go to. And pay homage, I guess. I mean, the guy's a legend.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy to go to that panel. That was one of the ones that I really truly enjoyed to go check out. But we really wanted to go check out a few other ones like John Barrowman's cosplay ones. I don't know why we never go to the cosplay one. I mean,
No time.
we just don't have time. We went out for dinner that night. So yeah, I don't know. There's always more that we want to do every year, and we just don't.
Never enough time.
Never enough time. Well, and the other thing is like I'm working, right? Like I'm there. I'm taking video, and talking to people and meeting people, and I don't know.
Oh, life's so rough.
I know, it's
fulfilling those
terrible.
official press duties.
So let's go back to Aaron here. He's commented on the costuming. He liked the Death Star lady too. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
She's amazing.
He also said he met a girl dressed as a shrimp. It's a thing she does every year. Last year she was a corn cob. She skips the sci-fi, fantasy, pop culture costumes and dresses as a food item. Are you at the wrong con?
No,
No, just because she can. That's pretty great.
She was a quantum cob because it's pop culture.
Sure.
Haha. So then was she a popcorn shrimp?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
popcorn chip.
There was also a guy in a Donald Trump costume. He had like the rubber mask on and a little tiny hand. It was pretty funny. And oh yeah, there was a guy dressed as Leia. His costume was good, but he was wearing like 12-inch platform heels. Oh,
the other one that I really liked, that just kind of reminds me, was the gender swapping for the Mad Max. There was if you go back into our video, we did the Mad Max Fury Road, like the group one, and then we did the gender swap one right after that one. They were absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I have to give them props because I mean they looked amazing, and like this manly big guy with this baby belly was so funny. So yeah, I really like that one. Yeah, so good.
Anyways, continuing on.
Well, all in all, it sounds like it was another good year of a celebration of nerdiness, all the things that bring us together and, make our passionate little nerd hearts beat.
Yep. It didn't seem as busy as it was last year, though, which is kind of sad. I mean, times, the economy and things.
Yeah, I know, like, because we know a lot of the vendors that are there. Some were happy, some weren't, depending on who you were talking to and what they were selling, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like an odd year. You can definitely tell that, or you can definitely feel people were a lot closer to their wallets this year. I'm finding that the prices for the autographs and the photos are way too expensive.
They've gone up a lot.
They've
in the
gone
last
up a
few years.
lot in the last few years. They have gone up a lot. And it's not like you can't measure how much they've gone up. You can see, like when I first got Stanley's autograph, it was $50. It was, and I know this because I bought it. But now it was, how much? It was $100?
$100.
$100. So that's double the price on like, and that's a lot in the last 4 years that
Now,
it's
does the
been.
con set these prices, or did the people coming?
I don't know if it's. I don't know how that all works out. I think the people that are coming set some of the price, and I think the con takes a cut.
I almost wonder if it has something to do more with the dollar versus the American dollar. Because if we're
It
paying
could
these
be.
people American,
I don't know. I don't
That's
honestly.
right.
I don't know what it is, but I mean the prices, like I said, are just gone out of hand out there in the for the autographs and the photos. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is Stanley's last contour. And I mean, like, there's something to be said for that. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know. Do you want to be gouging people for an autograph?
yeah, I don't know. And because of that, I think their lineups weren't as long as they have been in the past. I mean, we walked by Peter Mayhew yesterday, and his autograph line had maybe 5 people in it, which was really sad.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I wish I had money to go get his autograph, just
You
because
could
I
have
wanted to
stood
go
there and
talk.
talked to him for
yeah,
like
you
10
could.
minutes because no one else is there.
Yeah. So I mean, those are the things that you kind of wanted to see. I mean, there's a lot of people whose lines were absolutely completely dead. But I mean, people were spending the giant money out in the getting autographs and not spending them in the hall. That's the downturn of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or
The trade-off.
Or there's more people in the halls. Like there's more booths. They're adding more and more and more, which is I think spreading a lot of the dollar thin. So to me, it's a balance, right?
It's true. I know a lot of people who go to expos and cons with a specific budget, and sometimes there's just too much good stuff to choose from, and you have your budget, and once it's gone, it's gone. And on day 2 or day 3, you may come across something you haven't seen before that's amazing, but all your budget's already gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, then, like I said, like the thing is, with the size of the convention and it growing as much as it has over the last few years, I think a lot of the vendors are the people who use the convention as a way to make money and actually, like,
support their
families in a way. They're having a harder time because it's gotten so big and people are now spending their money on other things during the convention.
Yeah.
So, and the prices for everything is going up.
Yep.
But it's always good fun.
It is always good fun.
And yes, Aaron, we never buy anything through our first walkthroughs.
But then you forget, or they sell out.
That's
It's
the
like
thing. Like
Costco, if you see it and you like it, you need to buy it. The next time you go back, it'll be gone.
Unless you're buying like
the law of
prints and stuff like that. Like I know if you're buying a lot of art, they're probably not going to run out. That's not actually true because there's people that do run out of art. But generally, like if you're going to go.
But I imagine if you talk to the artist, if there's a specific print that they've done,
I'm sure there's ways of getting
you a reproduction of it, right?
Yeah, there's ways of getting those.
I mean, one nice thing though is that they had more food options this year. They had a whole food court going, and it seemed like the food lineups weren't as long, which is always good. So.
But the thing is, like when you go to these conventions, if you're looking for specific items, like we bought Nehemiah, like our kid, a Pokemon cards. Like he wanted some decks, right? So we got him a deck, but I spent all weekend looking at all the different places that had Pokemon cards, and I bought the cheapest ones I possibly could find.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, I could see people selling them for $18 over here, but I bought them for $14 over there, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's that too.
Yeah.
Shop around. Always shop around, people.
All right. So last thing before we go,
Oh well.
what's your favorite moment, memory, bit from the weekend?
Trina dressed as a cookie trooper.
That was mine. You
That's
stole
a very
Too
good
late.
husband
I was
answer.
faster than you.
Get husband points for that answer.
Yeah, it was cosplaying. That was my first time doing a really big group costume, and I had a lot of fun doing it.
And she did it well.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, it was good. And I got the pleasure to just walk around with them,
Yeah, he was our.
which was funny because I mean, people would be walking by and not realize what was going on, and they would be like, "Oh, there was cookies," and they were like, "Oh, but there's cookies, they're gone." And then by the crowds, the way they are, they'd be like cut off by the crowd, and they'd be like so sad that they missed these cookies that walk right by them.
Cookie.
I know that, and they know that, and the worst part is they're free. And people are like, I want cookies. They're going away. I want cookies. And they're good. They were really good cookies.
Gonna have to make even more for Edmonton.
Yes,
Now that people know there's cookies.
they're free. Come to the dark side.
Start charging.
Come to the dark side. We've got cookies. Well, what's up on the docket? The expo was sort of one of the big things we had coming up on the calendar. Now that it is over and done for another year, what are some of the events we have coming up next?
The next few weeks are going to be crazy nerd busy.
Yes.
Crazy.
Now, okay. I want to make this very clear for everybody out there. Lightsaber training is happening. This is real. Okay, folks. May the 4th. Now we know this is Star Wars Day. We all get it. We all know how big this is probably going to be. I know the city is expecting 80 to 100 people. I'm going to say more than that. There's going to be more than that at this lightsaber training.
Don't let that deter you.
Do not let that deter you. Please come out because it's going to be fun.
And when is it?
It is. I told him.
When?
Wednesday.
Oh, at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
At 7 o'clock.
Where?
7 o'clock at Churchill Square.
Churchill Square.
And what do you need to bring?
And bring your own lightsaber.
Or of similar
A pool noodle,
Or pool noodle,
a lightsaber
or like
analog of
Please
some
do not
sort.
bring a wooden stick. Wooden sticks are
Yeah.
not good and not acceptable because they hurt and they break other people's lightsabers.
But
So don't-
yes, some
Oh.
kind of
Foam.
lightsaber analog.
Yes.
What else should you bring?
Water.
That is exactly where I was going. It's supposed to be 30 degrees on Wednesday.
Yes.
Water and
That is-
sunscreen.
Bring yourself some water
Sunscreen.
and some sunscreen.
It is like if you are in the city of Edmonton right now, it is super hot out right now. It is May.
I know.
This is May. By the way,
May the
May the 2nd. This is when we're recording this is May the 2nd. And
It
oh
was
my goodness,
28
it was
degrees
28
today.
degrees today. Oh, it's incredible. Absolutely beautiful weather. The con, like in Calgary, was okay. Like the weather was all right. Like I never had any issue with how hot or cold it was.
It's a little windy one day.
It was a little windy, but it was fine. But yeah, it was like as we went further north, it was even warmer. It's like, oh my goodness.
It was weird. Anyways,
So,
what else is coming up?
Lightsaber training, May the 4th.
Yes.
What else is on the calendar
We also
upcoming?
Saturday
Saturday and Sunday is GDX Edmonton.
That's not where I was going, but okay.
Well, we're gonna go with that first.
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday, GDX
Sunday.
is game discovery exhibition, and that is, that is happening. Go to gdxedmonton.com for all the details for that event. It's for the Edmonton's game developers. If you are interested in game development in any way, shape, or form, go and check this out because it is going to be amazing. And yeah, it's great. The other thing is that is happening on Saturday. I know this is what you were trying to get at. But I want to just kind of like wait it a little bit, and, save it for last. This is Free Comic Book Day. Go to your Free Comic Book Day retailer, which is pretty much every comic book store.
One thing we learned from Stanley is that comic book is one word.
Yes.
So when you
This
write
is
out the
his
word
crusade.
comic book, you write it as one word. If you write comic and book, it is a book of jokes.
It's a funny book.
It's a funny book.
That's what he said. Funny book.
Funny book, not a comic. So when you're writing out free comic book day, comic book is one word.
That is Stanley.
That was Stanley's big rant for the week.
Excellent.
And he is, I mean, he dictates it now. It is official one word.
It always was.
And where can our listeners and viewers find us on the web, Dan?
Oh,
On the web.
you can find us all over the web. Just go Northern Nerd.
Follow Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All over the web.
We've got our website. We've got our
Yes.
YouTube page. We're on
Go
Facebook.
to northernnerdnetwork.com. That is our website. And then that's where we have our event calendar. And we have some amazing events that are, I would say, powered by the Edmonton Nerd List. Kelly.
Thanks,
folks.
Kelly.
He's
He sends
amazing.
us all our stuff. Our calendar would be bare if it weren't for him. He's
Yes.
amazing. Thank you, Kelly.
And I kind of feel bad because there's still more I have to put on there. And I haven't had the moment to do that yet. I will get to that probably tonight. Also, you guys can check us out on our YouTube page. That's where we have a lot of our videos. That's where we have all of our videos. It's on youtube.com/Northern Nerd Network. You guys can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Northern Nerd and on Twitter at Northern_Nerd.
And if you tweet at Dan, he will tweet you back.
Yes, I do tweet a lot.
Yay!
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
thanks for telling me all about Expo. It's almost like I got to be there, even when I didn't get to be there. So thank you.
No problem.
You need to go to an expo. And
I know.
we had Janine. She came out to the expo for the one day, and we've seen her there. And she will be doing the lightsaber training on May the 4th at Churchill Square. So yeah, we saw. I know, another plug for that. But yeah, no, we saw her, and she was just like, "This thing is huge." It was a very large convention, and she's one of those people who used to love going to the Star Trek conventions where they were like in a little hall and
Tiny. Yeah.
tiny. And so I there's something to be said about the small conventions, and I kind of do. I sometimes I miss those conventions because the Calgary Expo, although it's great and what it does is amazing, and it brings a lot of people out, and you get to see some amazing cosplayers. Sometimes I kind of want it to be a small little event. So there's a lot of those coming up in the next little while, like Pure Spec. That's on the docket at some point. That's in October. Actually, that's not coming up at all in the next little while. But yeah, there's other little conventions that are happening. So keep your eye out for those, and we will have those on our Facebook and our website on the event page. So keep your eye out for that. And there's also stuff that's just happening around the city all the time. And so, I encourage everyone out there who's listening to this podcast to go and either look at our website and check out the event page, just maybe because there's something out there that you really enjoy doing, and there's probably a group for that, and an event for that kind of stuff. So go and check that out. Go check it. I encourage everyone out there to check those out. And really, what I'm trying to get at in the end of this is that we really want to start building more community within the city here, and try to bolster that a little bit more. So yeah, go to our Facebook page, like us on Facebook, tweet at us, follow us on Twitter. That kind of stuff, and we'll get you connected with the community.
And did you know that this was episode number 40 of
Yeah.
Nerdcast?
We've made it to 40. We got another 10 more to get to
Yay!
50. And then after that, another 50 to get to 100.
We can do it. We can do it.
We will get there. Well, I know we're like cruising through them now. Like I'm like, wow, we're at 40. Wow, we're actually doing something here. So
One
yeah,
episode at a time.
I know it's crazy. So I want to thank everybody out there for watching and or listening to this edition of the Nerdcast, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
I don't know why it sounds like that. We'll just roll with it.